When it comes to great dynasties in history, even sports like basketball and football, they always fall the exact same way, from internal conflict. And looking at the NBA and basketball, in the 1990s, the Bulls, they fell from internal conflict, with Jerry Krause and Phil Jackson having a massive divide. Look at the Shaq and Kobe Lakers, the exact same thing, an internal feud from their two superstars. Even the San Antonio Spurs, who were a model organization, they fell from internal conflict with Kawhi and Greg Popovich, and how that ended was Kawhi being traded and Tony Parker on the Charlotte Hornets. Every great dynasty in sports and history falls the exact same way. And when it comes to the Golden State Warriors, that's no different. As in this year's playoffs, they narrowly beat the Sacramento Kings, but lost the actual king, that being LeBron and Lakers, in only 6 games. And if you watch this series, it felt a lot worse than a 4-2 beating, as LeBron and Anthony Davis got anything they wanted at the rim and around the basket. But looking past the actual play on the court, the Warriors' downfall could be seen miles away, as Draymond Green sucker punched Jordan Poole at practice. That video was leaked to the public and went viral on Twitter, Instagram, and every media outlet. It doesn't matter what you call that. Was it a brawl, a sucker punch? Doesn't matter. Draymond doing that created a clear divide in the Warriors locker room that they never got over. And looking at game 1 of this season, game number 1 was versus the LA Lakers. In this game, Draymond Green, late in the third quarter, was on the bench. He came off the bench onto the floor to laugh and joke with LeBron James, who is still playing actively. This interaction also went viral. And if you zoom in really close, Andre Iguodala on the bench is making some very interesting hand movements in reference to Draymond. Taking those two moments right there, the Draymond punch and the love fest with LeBron James, the Warriors' downfall was simply inevitable. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into the main topic of the video and my theory about LeBron James and the Warriors dynasty. As you guys know, LeBron James, his basketball IQ is sky high up there with Jordan, Magic, Kobe, and all the greats. But one thing he doesn't get enough credit for is his mental toughness and his ability to manipulate players on and off the court. My theory for this video is that LeBron James, knowingly or unknowingly, infiltrated the Warriors dynasty by being friends with Draymond. As both LeBron and Draymond in 2016 and 2015, they were bitter enemies, and Draymond in those series had numerous cheap shots on LeBron James. He hit him in the junk. These guys were battling on the court and going at it. And you could very easily argue Draymond Green cost Golden State 2 championships, that being in 2016 and 2019 on with his feud with Kevin Durant. LeBron James, having the IQ he does, seeing all that happen, I think he saw Draymond Green as a chink in the armor for the Golden State Warriors. As back in the day, they were bitter rivals, but nowadays it's buddy-buddy and very, very friendly. As in this series versus LA, Draymond Green not once trash-talked LeBron or Anthony Davis. The only player he trash-talked really was Dennis Schroeder and Darvin Ham, the coach. Draymond in this series was not normal Draymond Green. As versus Sacramento, he was jawing with everyone, going back and forth with De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, Malik Monk. Draymond in that series was classic Draymond, stepping on people, throwing hands, doing whatever it took to win a basketball game. That overall intensity was not present in this Lakers series towards LeBron or Anthony Davis. And one thing very few fans know is one of LeBron's favorite movies and books is actually The Godfather. And if you watch The Godfather, read the book, it is all about deception, infiltration, betrayal, and the overtaking of a dynasty. I don't think it's that crazy to say that an NBA player LeBron's caliber would infiltrate a team to eventually beat them in the NBA playoffs. As even Michael Jordan, the greatest player in NBA history, was accused of the exact same thing, as Jeff Van Gundy 97 called Jordan a con man was only friends with players to soften them up and eventually beat them. And look, the NBA they've had friendships, they've had rivalries, and everything in between. But for Draymond versus LeBron, it's gone past a friendship to almost an insane level of deriding. As Draymond seriously said, he would skip a Warriors game to see LeBron break Kareem's record. Draymond Green quite literally put LeBron over his own team. Generational. Do you honestly think it's that crazy for LeBron James to soften up Draymond Green, the heart and soul of the Warriors, to eventually beat them in the playoffs? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. For me personally, I don't think it's that far of a stretch. And some might say the Warriors dynasty, it isn't over, this is an isolated loss, and they'll bounce back from this. Maybe so. But just optic-wise, getting the vibe, I think the Warriors 3.0 is coming to an end pretty quickly. As Jordan Poole, of course he was punched by Draymond, but also he's getting paid a crazy amount of money. Draymond himself is a known double agent, Klay Thompson has a crazy bag, and their draft picks as of late haven't panned out in the slightest. Could the Warriors be back next year in the playoffs and be a very competitive team? I would bet on that happening. But in terms of a championship window, being that Warriors dynasty unbeatable, multiple finals, championships, I think that Warriors team officially is over and done with. And if you say LeBron James ended this dynasty, technically you aren't wrong. But I think the more accurate description that this dynasty fell from within, with Jordan Poole getting punched and Draymond being a LeBron James simp. So that is the end of the video. That's my theory on how LeBron James ended the Warriors dynasty. As always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.